The ship named Starbound moved slowly around the red planet Vargas Prime. This was the home of the feared Vargation aliens. Kate Wilson stood looking out the big window. Her heart beat fast as she watched the planet below. Everyone knew Vargations were big and scary. They stood 9 feet tall with hard shells on their bodies like armor. They were strong fighters who hated humans. "Lieutenant Wilson, come to the meeting room now," said Captain Abrams over the speaker. Kate pushed her brown hair back. She was only 32 years old. No one else her age could speak the hard Vargation language as well as she could. Her job seemed easy: help get permission to dig on Vargas Prime's 3rd moon. But the truth was, no human had ever made a deal with these aliens in 40 years. In the meeting room, Captain Abrams looked worried. "The Vargations are sending one person to our ship. They are sending War Commander Krazak." People in the room began to whisper. Kate felt afraid. Everyone knew about Krazak. He was 12 feet tall and had destroyed 3 human towns during the last war. He was famous for hating humans. "Be very careful around him," Abrams warned everyone. "One mistake could start another war. Lieutenant Wilson, you will do the talking." Kate nodded, but her throat felt dry. "Yes, sir." 3 hours later, she waited in the landing area as the alien ship connected to theirs. The door opened with a hissing sound. Kate tried hard not to step back. War Commander Krazak had to bend down to enter the ship. He was so big he seemed to fill the whole room. Dark green armor plates covered his body. They had many battle marks and special designs on them. 4 orange eyes looked at everyone, then stopped on Kate. "I talk for the Vargation Empire," he said in his language. The translator machine had trouble keeping up with his deep voice. "Who talks for Earth?" Captain Abrams stepped forward. "I do. This is Lieutenant Wilson. She will help with talking." Krazak looked down at Kate with narrow eyes. "A small one," he said. "Maybe humans send their weakest to make us happy." Kate took a deep breath. Then she did something that surprised everyone. She spoke in perfect Vargation without using the translator. "The smallest stone can change where a big river goes, War Commander." This was an old Vargation saying. Very few outsiders knew it. For a second, Krazak's face changed. He looked surprised, maybe even a little impressed. Then his face became hard again. "We will see, little stone," he answered. "We will see." The next day, Krazak joined the humans for their first meeting. He sat on a special chair made to hold his weight. Captain Abrams talked about mining rights, money, and trade deals. Krazak listened without showing any feeling. "Earth offers fair payment for the minerals," Abrams said. "Plus, we will share our food-growing technology." Krazak made a sound like rocks grinding together. Kate realized he was laughing, but not in a nice way. "You think we care about your money?" Krazak asked. "Or your weak plants? Vargations need stronger reasons to allow digging on sacred ground." The captain looked confused. "Sacred?" The report said nothing about the moon being sacred. Kate watched Krazak carefully. His 4 eyes blinked in a pattern she recognized from her studies. He was testing them. "Perhaps we should ask what would make a fair trade in Vargation eyes," Kate suggested to the captain. Then she turned to Krazak and asked in his language, "What does your people value most, War Commander?" Krazak turned all 4 eyes to her. "Honor," he said simply. "Respect, understanding, things humans know nothing about." Captain Abrams sighed when Kate translated. "Tell him we respect their customs, but we need to discuss real terms." Kate hesitated. She knew this approach wouldn't work. Instead of translating, "Exactly," she said to Krazak. "Our captain wishes to learn about your ways. How might we show proper respect?" For the first time, Krazak showed interest. "The human changes my words yet speaks truth," he said, looking at Kate. "Interesting." The meeting continued for 3 more hours. Little progress was made, but Kate noticed Krazak watching her whenever she spoke. As everyone left, he stopped. Near her. "You study our ways," he said in his own language. "Why?" Kate looked up at the giant alien. "Because understanding builds bridges where fear builds walls." Krazak thought about her words. Tomorrow, sit beside me in the meeting. I will teach you things your books do not know. That night, Kate couldn't sleep. She sat in the ship's dining hall drinking tea when Krazak walked in. Everyone else quickly left. The big alien stood looking at her. May I join you? He asked in rough human language. Yes, Kate answered in his language. Please sit. As Krazak carefully lowered himself into a chair made for humans half his size, Kate realized something important was happening. No Vargation had ever willingly sat with a human for a friendly talk. This might be the first step toward real peace. After 5 days, the talks were going badly. Captain Abrams was making threats and Krazak was not moving on any points. Kate sat quietly, changing the words from one language to another, watching both sides get more and more angry. We are done. For today, Krazak said suddenly, standing up to his full height. The humans looked happy for the break. As Kate picked up her papers, she saw Krazak waiting by the door, all 4 of his eyes watching her. You speak our words well, he said in his language. How did you learn? Kate waited a moment before answering. I learned from Teacher Ben at the language school. He spent time on your planet during the peace talks 10 years ago. Krazak made a noise that was part growl, part laugh. Old no hair. We called him the bald one who asks too many questions. We let him stay because he showed good respect. Kate smiled a little. He still asks too many questions. That night, Kate sat in the ship's eating room, unable to sleep. She was surprised when Krazak came in, bending to fit through the door. The few people eating quickly left. Can I sit with you? Krazak asked, trying to speak human language. His voice sounded rough, like it hurt him to make human sounds. Yes, please, Kate answered in his language, pointing to the strong chair across from her. And please speak your own language. My job is to understand. Something like thanks showed in Krazak's eyes. He sat down carefully on the chair. Your captain does not understand us, Krazak said plainly. He offers money and machines thinking. We want such things. He makes threats with warships not knowing we would be happy to fight. Kate nodded. What would you want in a trade? Krazak looked at her, thinking hard about something. Come with me to our planet. See our world with your own eyes. Then maybe you will understand what we really care about. The next morning, Kate told Captain Abrams about Krazak's offer. The captain was very angry. No human has gone to their planet in many years. They will kill you. Sir, this is the first good thing that has happened, Kate said. Commander Krazak would not ask if he was planning to hurt me. You don't know that, Abrams said sharply. These aliens don't think like we do. That's exactly why I need to go, sir, Kate said calmly. We need to understand how they think. This is our chance. 1 day later, even though the captain didn't like it, Kate was on an alien ship going down through the red clouds of Vargas Prime. She sat next to the most feared warrior in this part of space. Your captain thinks I will kill you, Krazak said, simply. Kate looked right at him. Will you? For the first time, she saw Krazak's mouth plates move into what looked like a smile. That would be bad manners, Kate Wilson. And Vargatians care very much about good manners. The ship landed in a wide open space surrounded by tall buildings. These were not like human buildings. They looked like they had grown from the ground, with smooth curves and natural shapes. Many Vargatians moved around, some working on ships, others carrying weapons or food. Welcome to Vartalon, our biggest city, Krazak said as they stepped off the ship. No human has stood here in 50 years. Kate felt the heavy gravity pulling at her body. The air was thicker too, and had a smell like metal and spice. Everywhere she looked, Vargatians stopped to watch her. Some looked angry, others just curious. They will not hurt you, Krazak said, seeing her worry. You are my guest. A group of smaller Vargatians approached. They were still much bigger than Kate, but looked less dangerous than Krazak. These are my battlekin, Krazak explained. Warriors who have fought beside me. The aliens looked at Kate with all their eyes. One said something too fast for her to catch. He asks why you do not wear armor, Krazak translated. They think humans must be very brave or very stupid to go without protection. Kate smiled. Tell them we wear our armor on the inside. When Krazak translated this, the warriors made the growling laugh sound. They seemed to approve. Krazak led Kate through the city. Unlike human cities with straight roads and square buildings, this place followed natural lines. Paths curved around rock formations. Buildings used the natural hills and cliffs. Your people work with the land, Kate said, not against it. Of course, Krazak replied, sounding surprised. The land was here first. We are guests on its surface. This was not what Kate had been taught about Vargatians. The report said they destroyed environments and cared nothing for nature. At a large building with a domed roof, Krazak stopped. This is where our leaders meet. They wish to see the human who speaks our language. Kate swallowed hard. Will they be friendly? Krazak looked down at her. They will be fair. That is all I can promise. Inside, 5 huge Vargatians sat in a half-circle. Their armor had more decorations than Krazak's, and their eyes glowed brighter orange. So small, one said in the Vargatian language. Is this truly the one who wishes to understand us? I am, Kate replied before Krazak could speak for her. I thank you for allowing me on your world. The leader leaned forward. Why should we trust humans now? Your kind has broken promises before. Kate thought carefully before answering. I cannot speak for all humans, just as Krazak cannot speak for all Vargatians. But I am here to listen more than talk, to learn more than teach. The leader's eyes narrowed. A wise answer. Perhaps there is hope for understanding between our kinds. He turned to Krazak. Show her the Temple of Memory. Let her see what humans have forgotten. As they left the meeting hall, Kate asked, What is the Temple of Memory? Krazak's 4 eyes looked sad for a moment. The place where we remember why we fought your people and why we might one day stop. Krazak led Kate through the city streets toward a huge building made of red stone. As they walked, Kate noticed things about the Vargatians she had never known before. Young ones played in open spaces, their bodies not yet covered with the hard armor of adults. Old ones sat in groups telling stories with big hand movements. I thought Vargatians only cared about fighting, Kate said. But you have families. You tell stories. Krazak looked down at her. Did you think we were born from battle? That we lived only to fight and die? He shook his head. We are people, Kate Wilson. Different from humans, but still people. They came to the big stone building. It had no doors, just a wide opening in the shape of a Vargatian body. This is the Temple of Memory, Krazak said. All our history is kept here. Inside, Kate gasped. The walls were covered with pictures carved into the stone. They showed battles, but also star maps, farming scenes, and building work. Some pictures showed strange animals and plants. Others showed what looked like science work. I did not know your people did science, Kate said. We have studied the stars for 10,000 years, Krazak replied. We knew about your planet long, before you knew about ours. He led her to a newer part of the wall. Here, Kate saw pictures of human ships. In one scene, human ships were firing on what looked like a Vargasian town. The first meeting, Krazak said, his voice sad. When human ships found our outer world. Kate felt confused. But our history says your ships attacked us first. History is written by those who live, Krazak said. These pictures were made by those who saw with their own eyes. The wall showed the story. Human ships had found a small Vargatian town on a far planet. The humans had tried to land. The Vargatians, afraid of the strange ships, had sent warning shots. The humans thought it was an attack and fired back with big weapons. Many Vargatians died. This started the war? Kate asked. Yes, Krazak said. A simple mistake. Fear on both sides. Kate looked at the rest of the wall. It showed many battles with both sides fighting hard. But the newest part of the wall was strange. It showed humans and Vargatians working together on what looked like the moon they were fighting about now. "What is this?" she asked. "It has not happened. It is the future hope," Krazak explained. "What our wise ones have seen in dreams. Humans and Vargatians working together using the sacred tears of our gods to make new things." Kate began to understand. "The moon we want to mine is holy to us," Krazak said. "The rocks you want, we call ancestor tears. They fell from the eyes of our God as she made our world." "Then why even think about letting us mine there?" Kate asked. "The future hope speaks of sharing the tears to make lasting peace," Krazak said. "But it must be done with proper respect and the right prayers. Your captain offers money when he should offer honor." Now Kate really understood. The talks were never about price. "No, little stone," Krazak said. "They were about respect." As they left the temple, Kate had many new thoughts in her head. Everything she knew about Vargatians seemed wrong now. They were not just fighters. They had rich culture, art, science, and deep religious beliefs. "Will you show me more of your world?" she asked. Krazak seemed pleased by her interest. "Yes. Next I will show you where our young ones learn." The place was like a school, but very different from human schools. Young Vargatians worked in groups. Some practiced fighting moves, but others studied star maps or made complex math drawings on the ground. "We train both body and mind," Krazak explained. "A warrior who cannot think is just a weapon, not a person." One young Vargatian came up to Kate. It was smaller than the others, with lighter colored armor. "Are you really human?" it asked in broken human language. Kate smiled and answered in Vargatian. "Yes, I am. My name is Kate." The young one's eyes got big. "You speak our words. Teacher said humans cannot speak properly because their mouths are too soft." Krazak made the laughing sound. This one has proved many teachers wrong. That night, Kate stayed in Krazak's home. It was a big building where many of his family lived together. They gave her a room fixed for human needs, with a smaller bed and human-style food. As she got ready to sleep, someone knocked on her door. It was Krazak, holding what looked like an old book. "If you truly want to understand, start with this," he said, giving her the book. "It is the Vargatian Honor Code. No outsider has ever been allowed to read it." Kate took it with shaking hands. "Why show me?" Krazak was quiet for a long time. "Because you listened when others only talked. Sleep well, Kate." It was the first time he had called her just by her first name. The next day, Krazak took Kate to meet his battle group. These were warriors who had fought with him in many battles. They were hard-looking and covered in battle scars. At first, they were cold to Kate, but when she spoke their language and showed respect for their ways, they began to accept her. One old warrior named Grak had fought humans for 60 years. He looked at Kate with all four eyes narrowed. "You are not what I expected," he said finally. "You are not soft or afraid." "She's too small to be afraid," another warrior joked. "Her kind makes up for size with spirit." By the end of the day, Kate was sitting with the warriors, sharing a meal as they told battle stories. They asked her about Earth, about human ways. She answered honestly, even when the answers showed human weakness. As the day ended, Krazak walked Kate back to her room. "Tomorrow you will see our science work," he said. "Then you will understand why the moon is so important to us." Kate nodded. "Krazak, I need to ask something." "Why me? Why show all this to me?" The big alien looked down at her, all four eyes soft in the dim light. "Because in 500 years of knowing humans, you are the first to speak our language, know our sayings, and still ask questions instead of making judgments. You are a bridge, Kate Wilson, and both our worlds need bridges." Kate spent 5 days on Vargas Prime. She saw their science buildings where Vargatians studied stars and made new metals. She watched their young ones train in both fighting and thinking. She even joined a family meal with Krazak's clan, where she tried strange foods that burned her mouth but made the Vargatians laugh in a friendly way. Each night, she read more of the honor code book Krazak had given her. It was not what she expected. Instead of rules about fighting, it talked about respect, truth, and the right way to treat others, even enemies. On her last day, Before she had to go back to the human ship, Krazak took her to a high hill outside the city. "Our warriors come here before big battles to find peace in their minds," he said. "I thought you might like the view." From the hill, Kate could see the whole city spread out below. The red buildings fit with the land around them. The two moons hung in the orange sky, making everything glow with soft light. "It's beautiful," she said honestly. "Your Earth must be beautiful too," Krazak said, "though I have only seen it through weapon screens." His words reminded Kate that their peoples were still enemies, even if she and Krazak had become friends. "Why did you really bring me here, Krazak?" Kate asked. "To your home, to your city. No human has ever been allowed to do this." Krazak turned, all four eyes to the far hills. "I have killed 1,137 humans in battle," he said simply. "Each death is written in my memory, as our way requires. Each was fair fight." Kate stayed quiet, suddenly aware of how alone they were. "But I have grown tired of death, Kate. The future hope speaks of peace, not endless war. Someone must walk across the battlefield first." He turned to her. "I chose you because you speak our language, yes, but more because you try to understand. That is rare among your kind." "It's rare among any kind," Kate said softly. The next morning, as they got ready to go back to the human ship, loud alarms started ringing through the city. Krazak got an urgent message on his arm device. His face got very dark. "What's wrong?" Kate asked. "Your ship has moved to attack position," Krazak growled. "Our defense weapons are getting ready to fire." Kate's heart sank. "That can't be right. Captain Abrams wouldn't—" "See for yourself." Krazak showed her a screen on his arm. The Starbound had moved from its agreed place and seemed to be getting weapons ready. "There must be some mistake," Kate said. "Let me talk to them." Krazak waited a moment, then nodded. Quickly, Kate called the Starbound and found out the truth. Captain Abrams, thinking she had been caught or killed, was planning a rescue. Even when she told him she was safe, he didn't believe her. "They're tricking you, Lieutenant," Abrams said over the radio. "Our spies found out the Vargatians plan to use the mining rights as a trap to attack our workers later." "That information is wrong, sir," Kate said firmly. "I've seen their history records, their future hopes. They want peace, but with respect on both sides. Come back to the ship right now, Lieutenant. That's an order." Kate looked at Krazak, who stood nearby, clearly hearing both sides of the talk. His face showed nothing, but she could see he was tense. In that moment, Kate made a big choice. "I must say no, Captain. Things are very careful right now, and if I leave like this, it will make them think their worst fears about us are true. I'm staying to finish the piecework." "Wilson, that's against orders." "Yes, sir, it is." She ended the call. Krazak looked at her with all four eyes. "You have chosen a dangerous path, Kate Wilson." "So have you, War Commander," she replied. "Now, shall we make real peace, or shall we let fear choose our future?" For the second time, she saw Krazak smile. "Let us choose the new path." The next 3 days were the hardest of Kate's life. While the human ship stayed in its threatening position, she and Krazak worked day and night to write a peace plan that both sides could accept. They based it on the future hope, making rules for a shared mining operation on the sacred moon where Vargatian prayers would be said while resources were taken out together. "Your leaders will not like these terms," Krazak said as they finished the plan. "The money will be less than they hoped. And your warriors will not like having more humans near your world," Kate said. "We're both taking risks." When the plan was done, Kate had to face her hardest task, convincing Captain Abrams to accept it. The call was tense, with Abrams at first refusing to even look at the plan. "Sir, I'm sending you the full plan. Please read it before deciding," Kate insisted. "I'm also sending you copies of the Vargatian history records. You need to understand what's really happening here." "Lieutenant, I have orders from Earth Command to take you back and stop all talks," Abrams said in a dark voice. "Then maybe it's time for new orders," came a new voice on the call. It was Admiral Lee, commander of the Earth Peace Fleet. "Captain Abrams, stop what you're doing. Lieutenant Wilson's messages have reached Earth Command. We are looking at things in a new way." The relief Kate felt was huge. Over the next few hours, she helped Admiral Lee talk to the Vargation leaders. Krazak stood by her side the whole time, his big presence now making her feel safe rather than afraid. As the talks finished, Krazak turned to Kate. "You have done what no human has done before. You have shown true honor." Kate shook her head. "I just listened." "Sometimes," Krazak said, "listening is the bravest thing of all." 1 month later, Kate stood on the surface of Vargas Prime's third moon. She watched as humans and Vargatians worked side by side. Human engineers talked with Vargation workers. They were setting up the first shared mining operation. Before any digging started, Vargation priests had done their sacred prayers. Humans had stood respectfully as the priests thanked their ancestors for the tears that would now help both peoples. Kate had even joined in some of the words, making the priest nod in approval. "The future hope did not say how hard peace would be," said Krazak, coming to stand beside her. He wore new armor now. It showed his new job as ambassador to Earth, not war commander. "Good things are usually hard," Kate replied. She also had a new job. She was now Earth's first official person to live on Vargas Prime. "The small stone has truly changed the river's path," Krazak said, using the old saying from their first meeting. "Your bravery has brought honor to both our peoples." "It wasn't bravery," Kate said honestly. "It was curiosity. I just wanted to understand." "Perhaps that is the greatest bravery," Krazak replied. "To put aside fear and try to understand others." Below them, the work continued. Humans showed Vargatians how to use some tools. Vargatians showed humans how to find the best ancestor tears in the rock. Old enemies were now careful friends. They did not fully trust each other yet, but they were trying. Kate thought about how much had changed in just 1 month. The human leaders had at first been angry about the deal she and Krazak made, but when they saw the special metals that could be mined, they changed their minds. The Vargation warriors had not wanted humans near their sacred place, but when they saw that humans would follow their rituals with respect, they slowly accepted error. "What will you do now?" Kate asked Krazak. "I will go to Earth soon," he said. "I must see your world as you saw mine. It is only fair." Kate smiled at the thought of the huge warrior walking through human cities, seeing human families, learning human ways. "You will find humans are not so different," she said. "We also want peace, if we can find the way to it." "You found the way," Krazak said. One human who dared to befriend a Vargatian warrior. They stood in silence watching the work below. The path ahead would not be easy. Centuries of fear and fighting could not be forgotten quickly. There would be problems, misunderstandings, and maybe even small fights. But as Kate stood beside her alien friend, she knew the first step had been taken. And sometimes that first step was enough to change everything. And